This is usually how a video for me begins. I wait for a moment when I really feel moved to share something, when I feel that there is a message worthy of exploring myself, really battling with and understanding internally, and then trying my very best to communicate how I feel about it here. And so the note that I have been moved to share today is, first of all, surrender. Listen to your heart and soul and do it. Surrender to that voice, to that idea, to that vision that you might have, and have the heart of a child. Remember what it was like to be a child and just be. Something that I have been trying to, I think, balance better in my life when it comes to listening to that internal dialogue is trying not to overanalyze, overplan, over-strategize. That's something that I'm very guilty of. I love strategy, I love planning, I love thinking, and I think I love it so much so that I try to think of every possible problem and obstacle. And when it comes to business, I think about my competitors and potential solutions that they might be coming up with. And I think all of that is good to a point. There's a time and place for analyzing your competitor or thinking about obstacles that may come, but when it takes over and you don't just be, I think that it can be very damaging. And so, just truly having the heart of a child, operating like a child does. When I was a kid, I don't really remember worrying very much beyond the present moment. Whether it was climbing a tree or usually jumping off of something or getting ready to bike down a hill. Those were the moments when I was purely focused on the task or the obstacle at hand. And I think that that's a powerful thing that children have that some of us forget about. And I don't blame us for doing that, because life teaches us things, we make mistakes, and I think overall we begin to pay attention to all of the things that we were unaware of as a child. But that doesn't take away the power of just being present and just doing, just being, just taking a deep breath and channeling all of your energy and focus and time and attention into just one thing. That's something that I think it's priceless. It's the ability to sit down and be quiet and concentrate. It's a powerful thing. I was watching a movie about jewelry robbers, bank robbers, and it was kind of cool to see the story play out, because you see that they're looking at all these possible ways that they can get caught, these problems, and they're creating solutions for each one. And what I liked about that process of problem solving was, you see that these people are focused. They focus on one problem at a time. They solve that problem. Okay, what's the next step? What's the next you know obstacle to be overcome? And so if we would just approach life and problems like that, I think the sky would be the limit. And again, number one, surrender. The second line about listening to your heart and soul and just doing it, it's easier said than done. I know this, but I think my goal for this video is for, if you're unable to surrender at this moment, I would hope that at least you could just listen. Listen to your heart. Listen to your soul. Listen to that little voice that says, hey, do this. Try this. It's been several months that I've been executing on one of those ideas that I really listen to, and it just feels so amazing to have not only listened to it, but to go through a process of creating something, building something. I am very, people who know me very well know that I have a million and one ideas, but something that I realized years ago was that I was executing on less than 10% of them, if that. And so lately my approach has been less ideas, more execution, not going wide, but going deep. And instead of being overwhelmed or bombarding people with all my ideas, like just taking one idea and just going as deep as possible, trying to understand it and execute on it. And that's something that I've been doing over the last few months. And so I really encourage you to first listen and then execute, but to remember to just be.